Hi and welcome to Cooking at Vermilion Lane. Today we're going to be making risotto, and this risotto is really delicious because it's going to be flavored with Fontina cheese as well as Bella mushrooms. Check out my companion video to this, which is my Blackberry Dijon short ribs, which are really delicious over top of this. But if you're looking for a vegetarian dish, then you can elect to just make this on its own. It's absolutely delicious as an entree as well. Let's get started. So I'm going to pop a tablespoon of olive oil in my pan. It's warming over medium heat. Then I'm going to toss in my mushrooms. 2 pints here, so quite a few, but they're going to cook down. And I don't want to touch my mushrooms at this point because it is really crucial that I leave them alone so that they don't get rubbery on me. I want them to have a nice crisp outer and then a nice tender inside. And that's only going to happen if I leave them alone for the first couple of minutes, and then I'll give them a toss or two as they begin to break down a bit. If you find that your mushrooms dry out on you, give them another quick drizzle of olive oil, never more than a tablespoon at a time, just to be sure that they don't stick. We want them crisp, but we don't want them charred. Now that my mushrooms are nice and tender, brown and flavorful, I'm going to remove them from my pan. From there, I'm going to add my shallots. And my Arborio rice. And spread it around just a bit till I get a relatively even layer, and then I'm going to toast this off. And then add my olive oil. I just find that it's nuttier that way, and that was 5 tablespoons. I immediately stir that olive oil in. Now that my risotto is nice and toasty, it's time for a little warm stock. Not too much. I start off with no more than half a cup. And I hope your wrist is ready, because there is going to be some stirring involved. And it's going to be so worth it. Not just because you'll have the arms of Angela Bassett in her prime, but also because your risotto is going to be so luscious, creamy, just a taste of a bite in the middle. But that's only going to happen if we're patient and we're stirring. Here we go again, another half a cup. As soon as the rice drinks it, I pour it. I like to add 1 part stock, chicken stock preferably, and 2 parts low sodium chicken broth. I do that so that with all of these concentration of flavors, we don't have too much sodium going on. Not too much salt. Another half a cup in, and you can eyeball it. You're not going to hurt it.
Yum.
That's my middle one in the background. Also an aspiring cook. I believe he'll be a great chef one day. He's already a great kid chef. He's taught me a few things here and there. Alrighty. So the process has begun to slow down a bit, and the rice isn't able to drink up every half a cup of liquid just as quickly. But that's okay, I keep stirring. You're adding in your wine, 1 cup. So once you get close to the end, you'll find that your rice begins to really tighten up on you. Don't let it go all the way dry. We want our arborio rice to be loose and spread over the plate or bowl when we place it inside. That's true risotto. So now we're nearing the end because we can really see that our risotto has gotten quite creamy, but there's still too much of a bite. We want it to be al dente, but we don't want it to crunch under our bite. So another, I'll say maybe a half a cup, even a 1/4 of a cup will do. I've been stirring for 15 minutes at this point, perhaps even close to 20, just to give you some idea of how labor intensive it is. If you have carpal tunnel like me, you're feeling it right about now. But that's okay. It's going to so be worth it. I'm down to about 2 cups left of my stock. I started with 8 cups. I think by the time we're finished, I will have used about 7. Maybe 7.5, we'll see. Now we're at our final consistency. I'm going to turn off my heat. And you'll see that this is a lot like oatmeal or porridge. I want it just this loose. Because keep in mind that when I remove this fully from the heat, it's going to tighten up even more. But before then, it's time for the cheese. I've got 9 ounces of Fontina, and I'm just going to kind of stir it in as I go along until I get the consistency that I want and that my kids will be happy with, because I know they want it chock full of delicious, nutty, creamy Fontina cheese. Yes. That was one of 3 in the background. But they're all there, panting like puppies, hungry and waiting. Look how creamy this is getting. So I'm going to use about 7 ounces of the cheese, of the Fontina. Now I've got 1 ounce or so of Parmesan that's going to go in. Oh my gosh, that is just, so good. And now for my mushrooms. I want all that mushroom goodness in there, so I want the liquid as well as those mushroom caps. I'm going to reserve about 1/8 of a cup of mushrooms to sprinkle on top, along with a little thyme and parsley, which is optional. Thanks for watching. I really had a good time making this labor-intensive but oh so delicious Fontina cheese and Bella risotto. And don't forget to check out VermilionLane.com for this and lots more recipes and crafts. Thanks again for watching. Bye.